I'm just gonna preface this. This is a mess. When your life is over, you're not gonna bring your things. ADHD at its finest. I often will neglect my home if I'm not in like a place where I'm resting enough. Clutter is not cozy. A lot of my messes actually start with me organizing things. Mostly it's clothes. I'm realizing this isn't a 1-2 day thing. These two are empty. That's a lot of laundry. You like it? I can make a mess, but y'all, I can clean it up. I really just need to like face the music and get this done. I just feel like overwhelmed and I just feel challenged. I know I just need to like do it and I'll be fine, but like sometimes you just don't want to do it, you know? If I can just get this organized, I know everything else will feel so much better. So let's finish this strong. Hello, welcome back to the Right Up Your Alley channel. Guys, I'm really excited because I'm gonna take you in this video through my process of just getting my life regrounded and reset. What I found is with business specifically and with like relationships and different external things outside of my house, when I'm growing there, I often will neglect my home if I'm not in like a place where I'm resting enough. Right now, I'm really prioritizing rest as well as like being in the world and doing things and expanding things, and there's a season for that. There is no shame in that whatsoever. And I now know that in order to like thrive and kind of settle into this new level that we're at, I need to clean up, clean out, and get regrounded so that my day-to-day feels good and life-giving. With that, I'm gonna actually take you through our apartment. I wanna say this, I love our apartment. Justin is like, hey, we probably need to like buy a house. And I'm like, I really like it here. So he's just been really kind to me to let us like stay here. And with that, we are kind of growing and expanding. And so I think we're probably gonna outgrow this house in the next year. But with that being said, even as you are growing and expanding, you want the place that you are sleeping and resting and seeking information, spending time with the Lord to feel good, right? Or you're just gonna be distracted from those good things. Though we might not have all the space in the world necessarily, I want the space that we do have to be honored, and I want it to be used in a really smart, thoughtful way. Because realistically, this is plenty of space for 2 people. We don't have any kiddos right now. We don't have any pets. It's just us and my plants. There's no reason for it to be messy like it is. And it's really just because I've acquired things. One thing about me is that I like to fix things by adding. That's just my natural nature. And I really like a side of chaos sometimes that I have to almost like move out of, but that's just the way I was wired and built. Like I love to look at a mess and clean it up and make it run well and make it pretty. And with that, I almost had to realize like instead of adding things and making things more chaotic, it's the subtraction that really will allow things to be what I want them to be, right? So instead of, you know, allowing a tornado to have more things in it, like we just need to calm the storm and then we can thrive. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take you through some different parts of the house right now and show you what my tendencies are, and then we're going to actually bring you along as we work through things. And I'm gonna make it a goal to get rid of 1/5 of the things that I own. I'll, you know, donate, sell, whatever needs to happen so that I know what is in the house has a purpose and I don't have duplicates of things, and I'm being really thoughtful. Let's go do it. A lot of my messes actually start with me organizing things. This is me, like I need to get this on my Instagram. I just picked up all of this wax because I wanna make my own candles. ADHD at its finest. This all is business planning, tax strategy, and then like financial strategy realistically right here that Justin and I have been going through. So even though this room is so cute and clean, technically, I've created a little bit of a mess. Then we're gonna come in here. I'm just gonna preface this. This is a mess, but it's organized and I know how to find things. And that excuse has allowed me to leave it like this for about 3 weeks. The last 6 months, it kind of just like keeps defaulting to this and then I'll have to clean it. And you know, it's a circle. This is my guest room and office. So here we go. Okay, so winter things, laundry. Here's a bed full of all kinds of like clothes and different things, trying stuff on. Ooh, look, a bra, great. Here, I was just like going through a lot of my jewelry, trying to figure out what I want out for winter. A lot of this is kind of that too, like just bringing out winter elements, like what do I want? Shoes. This is all office stuff. So it's organized here, like all of this feels clean and good. Need to go through those Post-its, need to kind of go through a lot of the different things that I've started to collect. Mostly it's clothes. Will come in here. My closet is like well organized, but it's getting too full. I need to pull some spring and summer things and put them up, bring down obviously winter things. And then we're gonna go in here. So this is kind of like the bad part. So this is my bathroom, LOL. That shouldn't be there, obviously. Laundry. So this is I would say this is my cardinal sin. This and I used to pay my taxes late, so that was also not good. But we've overcome that part. That's a lot of laundry. For scale, this comes to like my nose and I'm 5'1". That's a lot of laundry. One of the really hard things that I've found specifically is my weight has increased and like fluctuated since COVID. I don't want to get rid of some things because I want to be able to fit into some of the clothes that I used to have, but also need to buy things that fit now. And so I find myself kind of in the in-between of that. So anyway, that'll probably bring up some feelings for me. I want to share that because I feel like that's really real and a lot of people go through that. But it's hard because again, sustainability. Like I don't want to rebuy things. I want to be thoughtful with budget. I have delightful ADHD and it makes me smart and fast and attentive to a lot of things all at once, right? When I do not see something and it's not in front of me, completely forget that it exists. And then I'll just rebuy it or put it on a list somewhere or want it. And so I'll have duplicates of a lot of things. So I really like for things to be visually right in front of me. So the closet, I feel like is organized enough and really accommodates that. And then you can see here, I need to go through and like get rid of some of these things. But I don't rebuy any of my like body tanning or nail things or skincare or hair care because I can see where it is. The closet is like that too. So I need to figure out in the kitchen how I can do that more specifically. I just put the first batch of laundry in. Wow, laundry is so challenging for me, only because I forget about it, which I think everyone does. I just need to have a better system with it. So right now I have JC here, so she's holding me accountable and I'm just going to be setting like timers. If I have like 1 or 2 loads, that's fine. But if I have 7 loads or something like that, it's when it gets overwhelming. First things first, I'm just doing all the laundry so everything is clean. And then from there, we'll all go into the office guest room and then I'll sort everything from there and then I'll be able to clean from that room. It's the next day. So I did not preface this in the last video, but this is kind of like the craziest, busiest week of the year for what I do in the marketing agency world at least. So anyway, gonna give you an update on the cleaning and then we'll go from there. This is our progress. Pretty good, right? I would say 2 towel loads are left and then 2 delicate loads and then probably 1 like miscellaneous. So we're about 5 down. Cleaned the bathroom, cleaned out quite a few different like products that I have. Cleaned out some jewelry, gonna see if some of my team wants them. So all clean, need to be folded. And this is just all the laundry that I need to go through. Exciting stuff, but progress nonetheless. That all being said, I'm realizing this isn't a 1-2 day thing. I pulled some of the products, pulled some of the jewelry. I'm gonna clean out, obviously, some of the clothes like as I'm folding them. But I think what's gonna happen is I'm gonna clean everything up for the weekend because I do have a client coming in for a VIP weekend next week. I think I'm gonna go super in because it'll all be clean and there. I'll be able to see what makes the most sense. And so I'll pull a lot of stuff. I'm gonna go run some errands and I'll catch you guys on the flip side when we're doing that, which let me tell you, I am not excited, but I'm hyping myself up. The weekend is over. It is now the work week. These are arguably the busiest 3 weeks of what I do, which I told you last week was super busy, but this week is a lot. So anyway, this is what is going on in the room now. So lots of clean clothes. We have a large wedding coming up and I don't have a full flower shop yet. So that's all the trash from it. And then these are all the flowers. We're kind of making more of a mess than we had before, but I'm gonna process these. My goal is tonight to get all of them ready. The wedding's on Friday. So all of this will be in here this week. I feel like this is almost like a good realistic breakdown. Like when you're a busy human, I don't have kids, but I have like multiple businesses. It's like you just do what you can with what you've got. So last week was like did not stop. Then I had obviously a client in town all weekend, and then got everything moving and grooving for the agency and Right Up Your Alley this week. And now it's time to do all the Bloom Babe stuff for a big wedding weekend. There are truly 2,000 flowers here for me to process all the way. So I'm gonna watch a Love Island maybe, something like that. The Chosen maybe. Wow, two very different things, but one of those while I'm processing. Probably will try and clean that room, ideally tomorrow. That would feel really good. So we'll see. Here we go. I really just wanna show you the mess. You just need to know like the depth essentially of the flowers. This has nothing to do with cleaning. I just like flowers and you probably do too. Okay, everyone likes flowers. Like that's just how it goes. Okay, so this is all of them organized. I can make a mess, but y'all, I can clean it up. We have a few more in the refrigerator, some here. Then all of these are getting stripped tomorrow morning. Love that. So, from our first video that we started to record, we are about 3 weeks out. So that was 3 weekends ago. I think that's right. You are kind of like seeing the process, and I feel like this is really important to address. You're seeing the process of like just the effort it takes to even just balance things when your objective is for everything to be clean. Like sometimes it's just hard, right? And so I've definitely felt that in like this end of the year season. So much good stuff has happened. We have new clients that we've been taking care of. I've had intensives that I was hosting last weekend. We had a big wedding that we were putting on for Bloom Babe, my other business. We've been balancing 3 companies. Then this week I went to Brooklyn last minute to meet with a client before the end of the year. And then yesterday, Friday, was our end of year meeting technically for all employees. Things just needed my attention, and I'm sure that's how you felt in your life too. Like it's really easy to just kind of like do the bare minimum and try and just keep everything afloat in some seasons, and that's okay. I truly think that's okay. And within that, I have also found it doesn't necessarily like feel good to me, right? Thursday morning, we're actually leaving for Raleigh, North Carolina to see Justin's family. Then we're going to Kentucky to see my family, and then we're going to the family cabin in Pennsylvania. I really want this house to be decluttered, clean, organized, and feel really good so that when we get back in the new year, we're able to, you know, start off on the right foot. We made great progress with laundry, almost completed it, but now the pile is heavy again. What I'm gonna do today, this is actually the day that we like get things done. So I go through 3 different phases that are so helpful for me to feel really refreshed and feel like I have that full reset. First thing is cleaning. Like anything that's dirty needs to be cleaned. Second, decluttering and like removing what's not necessary. So one thing about my closet, Justin and I have this rule, like we don't buy new hangers, and I actually broke that rule twice this year. But I, you know, have moved to a new climate from moving from California to North Carolina. So I'm like collecting some new things, but there are other things that probably need to go in my closet, in my room, in my bathroom. I am gonna go through and declutter once everything is kind of like in the place that it's supposed to be. And then from there, we are going to then get things organized. So I bought a wall calendar. We'll just start to like get the systems and like the pieces that we want for the way we want next year to go all together. I'm really, really excited. I am just like giving myself today to do that, and then we'll be able to go from there. Honestly, it's so interesting being a woman and then like observing fashion trends and being a trendy girl, because I mean, I think I have like a pretty classic style overarchingly. It's not like I'm like the trendiest of the world. I do feel like I make it a little bit harder for myself because I like new things, but then if a new thing comes in, like an old thing needs to go out, you know? I am really just going to need to like adopt that mindset if I'm going to continue to like grow in the direction that I'm wanting to grow. Okay. This isn't all of it, but again, we have lots of laundry here. So we're putting in the first load now, and then it just will take all day probably. I have found if I can just get all the clothes on the bed and out of all containers, everything gets a little bit easier for me, because then I can kind of divide it by type of clothing, aka does it need to be folded? Does it need to be hung? What part of the closet does it need to be hung in? Is it a set? You know, that kind of thing. I'm gonna do this for the suitcase and then get the suitcase out. I'm obsessed with this dress. I wanna wear it somewhere so badly. This is a small caveat, or not caveat, this is like a random thing, but I always keep a toothbrush in my suitcase at all times because for some reason I forget them a lot, and I keep a hairbrush. Those are like 2 patterns I've seen. So I have a suitcase, toothbrush and hairbrush, and then charcoal pills, which will like help me if my stomach is super bothering me, and then an air tag. All of those just stay in my suitcase at all times, and I swear it has given me so much peace of mind. Okay, anything that I put on the bed, I'm going to put away. I'm gonna go through everything in these 2 baskets right here. A lot of it is winter stuff, admittedly, and a lot of it's folded already, but if there's anything that I don't wanna keep, it doesn't go on the bed. It's gonna go in a pile so that I can start like at least cleaning and clearing out a little bit. If it's dirty, obviously it goes in a different pile too. As I'm doing this, I'm looking to see, okay, sets go here, things that are hung up go here, anything that goes in like my workout drawers is here, or underwear, and then like this is like folded pants. So I have a bit of a system that helps me do obviously whatever you want to do. These 2 are empty. I have some underwear that is literally from high school. I'm 29, so we're just gonna, it's time for that to go. I gotta say, like, I actually wear a lot of my clothes. I'm like very proud of myself even going through this. That didn't used to be true. So this is a great top, but it's time for her to go. Linen top, classic white top, cute white set. I don't know when I'll wear this again. It's a Coca-Cola like vintage find that I bought on Abbott Kinney in LA, and I love it and I will love it forever. Used to work at Coca-Cola. It's worth it to me. Hey, when is our lease up? In August. Putting this up, it makes me anxious to think that we would have to move it in August, but it'll be fine. What? Does this look even?
Push.
Push.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yay! Ah! Do you like it?
Sick. Very good.
I'll probably do a video for this planner. I'm gonna have to get gold. I'm gonna have to go get gold tax tomorrow, but it looks good, so I'm happy. Oh my gosh, you guys, I feel like I'm gonna cry, but I'm fine. Today's like the last day that I'm gonna be home before we leave for Christmas. In this video, like when I started it, I was thinking it was gonna be like quick, fast, and I feel like it like has so much more purpose now because I am kind of like showing you my process of like balancing multiple businesses, trying to learn how to host, be a wife, and also like navigating why planning is so important to me and why like I have the systems that I do, because it's just not innate for me. Like it's so challenging. And so my team and I were supposed to be like done with work and out of work this week, so we could have like a week to get our lives together before Christmas, which means a lot to me. It's Wednesday morning right now, almost afternoon, and I'm just still working through stuff, and that's okay, that's part of it, but it's just like hard. I really just need to like face the music and get this done, clean, and I know I'm gonna feel a million times better, but it's just hard. Like prioritizing myself is really difficult for me, and that's something that I'm like working through, but it's just the reality. Like my whole life I've always just been better at doing things for other people instead of myself, and so I turned 30 in a couple months, so I just feel like it's just hard in a way, you know, to even like sit with that reality. I just feel like overwhelmed, and I just like feel challenged. I know I just need to like do it and I'll be fine, but like sometimes you just don't want to do it, you know? What started out as something that I wanted to be easy and simple, there's a reason that it's hard. I know that I'm not the only one who's ever felt that, and like it's hard when you feel like you're doing everything in your power to like do everything right and it still isn't all right. you know, and like what is right. I know that's not necessarily true, but it's just so overwhelming feeling sometimes. So I'm just gonna like sit with these feelings. I'm gonna send out the last things that I need to do and get those like all connected. There are literally like 3 things and then we're gonna be fine. And then I just think I need to process and if I can just get this organized, I know everything else will feel so much better. So let's finish this strong. We had a good cry. We got a full day of work done, which was unexpected, but looks like I'm out of office now for Christmas, which is exciting. I cleared everything off the bed, so let's go through updates. All of that is going in my suitcase. These are my sets. Some of them are gonna go with me. That's all of my underwear and socks. I'm about to make this bed because it's clean. That is all going donations, Plato's Closet, etc. These are all my spring, summer clothes and shoes. And then I just need to like reorganize this. I just physically cannot get to it yet. I straight up feel like this is one of those things where if you are just naturally good at like turning it on and like cleaning, that's amazing. If you are not, then it's always such a journey. It really is. And so anyway, I was like funny because this taught me that no matter how much I've grown or worked myself, like I still really struggle putting myself first. That's a really hard thing for me to like realize and accept because I'm like, dang it, I still have a long way to go, but that's also life, you know? I feel like there's a lot that I'm gonna reflect on. I'm gonna finish this up and then we'll kind of do our final reflection on the lessons that we got from this sweet, sweet journey. Ladies and gentlemen, I actually don't know if men watch my videos. On Instagram, it's actually 92% women. So ladies, and maybe 8% men. I did it. So we have almost fully clean room. I literally just need to do my socks and underwear. I don't know why I put that off, but here we are. This corner feels like really clean. Then, like I said, it's like a pile of underwear. That's all I have to do. I propagated all these plants. I put it under my grow light. So while we're out of town, these are hopefully rooting. Desk has been cleaned, feels really good. Obviously, all of this is clean. That's looking great. The closet is a lot less messy, which feels really, really good. Put a lot of like the Uber spring things up. And they're up there now. I can like walk in, get what I need, and then coming in here, I love my little plants. Okay, so this is everything I'm using for my end of year review, and then this is for an upcoming wedding. So she has to stay out because I need her when we get back immediately. Cute in here. This is just like coats that are going because we're going to Pennsylvania and Justin's backpack. And then, hey, this is all good. So a lot of these things are going with, it's like my sabbatical bag. I'm about to take a sabbatical. I'm gonna have a video coming after this that shows you how we fill out as a family our big calendar. And then I'm gonna water my plants before we leave. So, woohoo! Also, I forgot to show the bathroom. Everything's clean. I need a new light bulb up there, but everything beyond that is clean. I pulled out a lot of different like expired makeup and things that I was just going to give away to people who might want it. Do the towels. We're good to go, guys. And there you have it. I want to go through the 7 things that I learned during this time. So if you are watching the end of this video, then you know this was a journey, a big journey for me. And I was actually rewatching the start and kind of giggling to myself because I was like, during this time I've been prioritizing rest, but I feel really ungrounded. And then this whole video proved that, right? And it was a lot of great things. And that's probably true for you in your life too. Like, you're not doing bad things. And so it's prioritizing what's going to take care of you in the long run alongside what you're doing now that is, you know, furthering your goals and like feels right for where you're wanting your life to go. It's like that finite balance, because I think sometimes we really like to focus inwardly in seasons or, you know, on the outside in other seasons, but there is, again, that balance necessary. And so you saw I was hosting people. I'm like putting on multiple events. I'm like onboarding amazing new clients. I'm taking, you know, unexpected trips to New York and other places for clients. And so the end of the year, I think, accelerates for a lot of people. And I definitely saw that. But then again, I'm leaving today for holidays with my family for traveling all over the US. I couldn't leave without getting this done because I just knew I was gonna feel so ungrounded. So anyway, like setting realistic deadlines is really important. I'll talk about that in a second, but also just give yourself grace. I hired my first like professional organizer and declutterer in 2021, and I have learned so much from her and then like continue to learn now. And it's okay if it's not perfect or easy. You literally saw the proof in the pudding of me wanting to prioritizing it, but still struggling to. When it's done, it's so worth it. So let's get into the 7 things that we learned. 1, it's okay if it's not easy. I've said that multiple times in this video, but it's okay if you innately are a little bit more chaotic or messy or like you like clutter. That's okay. I naturally like err on that side, but when it comes down to like the self-awareness of the matter, if that's holding you back, if that's making you feel messy or ungrounded or uncomfortable or overwhelmed, it's probably okay to let things go. Even just like exploring that possibility of like, who would I be if I didn't have all this stuff? You would be you still, right? I would be willing to bet you might possibly be happier because that's something that I learned. So allow yourself to like be in the process. It can totally be hard, but just because it's hard doesn't mean it's good. The second thing, clutter is not cozy. This was very hard for me to understand because again, cozy meant like things to me, and like the home that I grew up in, we have like lots of stuff and my mom is like incredible at decor. And so I just always thought that like a home and a house needed a lot of stuff in it, but clutter is not cozy at all. It feels really frustrating in times, and I didn't even realize it until I had a clean, less cluttered house, how much it was mentally taking a load and like putting it on my back. So clutter is not cozy, and if it does feel cozy, that's fine. It should be the right clutter, but you probably have other things that could go too. So I actually naturally ground a lot more when I don't have a million things on my plate. I see this in business, I see this in my marriage, I see this in our home. Don't keep adding. Sometimes you have to subtract to get what you want. It's not always addition that fixes things. And that was a huge lesson for me this year. And again, I'm learning it over and over and over in all the different areas of life. This one is so important. Number 3, you are not throwing things away. I hate waste. I don't know about you, but I hate waste. I want to be a conscious consumer. I like feel very convicted in that space. And with the things I pulled out of my house and out of my closet and out of my office and out of the living room, I'm not throwing them away. I'm not being like an irresponsible adult with that. Like I now am going to do my due diligence and take them to consignment shops and take it to different places. I'm gonna like talk to my friends and see if they want some things. My last resort is Goodwill, and like Goodwill does often like rehome different things that you bring. And so it's nuanced and it's hard, but you're not just throwing it away. It doesn't make you a bad person to buy something and for you to have a season with it and then for you to release it. You want to be a conscious consumer, and it's okay to declutter. Okay, number 4, you probably have more than you realize. I have more than I realize. When I was going through my clothes, I was like, oh my gosh, I have so many cute things in here. But I didn't necessarily feel like that when I started this journey. I was actually looking at different clothes that I wanted to stay warm when I'm in Kentucky and Pennsylvania. And then I was going through all my stuff and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't need anything new. I'm super set. So you have more than you realize. So make sure you know what you have. Even if you're not decluttering, like be able to know what you own. This is number 5. You have more space than you realize. When I started this video, it's funny, I was talking about how I know my husband is excited to have kids eventually, and I definitely want a house and to feel settled before we step into that season, God willing. And so you guys, I have so much more space than I realized. You have so much more space than you realize. And as I was like letting things go and getting things organized, I was like, oh my gosh, we have plenty of room to grow in this. And then I was like, oh my gosh, that's so funny that I am even saying that and realizing that, right? Number 6, I am such a firm believer in this. A clean workspace makes for better work and more productivity and less stress. And you are ambitious. That is why you're on this channel. You want to do something with your life. You feel like you have a purpose that's bigger than you. So don't let like little details and clutter around you or a, disorganized space keep you from that. And it really is just like even tidying up a little bit every single day or every single week that has helped me instead of like having to wait 6 months and then doing a whole overhaul. Allow your workspace to be sacred. Allow, you know, your quiet time space to be sacred. Allow your bed to be sacred. Like, just, you have spaces where I'm like, keep it clutter free if you can. And then the last one, number 7, is life is fast and sometimes life is hard. And it's also incredibly beautiful, and you acquire a lot along the way. Make sure that you're carrying the things that actually matter to you. This is something that I have to remind myself of often, but when your life is over, you're not gonna bring your things, you know? And our things may help us be who we are. You may love fashion and feel like that's self-expression for you, or you may love decorating, or maybe you're, you know, into plants, or you love like a large book collection. Whatever that could be, like, things are beautiful. It's a really sweet part of this life to be able to express yourself with collecting and owning things. And like, you're so much bigger than that. Make sure that what you're carrying and the burdens you're bringing into your life make you more you. Like I said, I naturally add things. I don't know if you're like that too. Releasing is just as powerful, if not more, as acquiring. You are just bigger than you realize, and the things that you're carrying, they have a weight, whether you realize it or not. With that being said, thank you for coming on this emotional, unexpected, interesting journey with me. I've loved every minute of it, and I'm really proud of the work that we got done together. I really pray that this inspires you to allow yourself to release the things you don't need in your space, and understand that it doesn't have to be a perfect process, that it might bring up emotions, that it might be not what you expected, but that it will be good and it will be exactly what you need. Have an amazing day. And if you have questions, drop them below. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you can get all of the new videos that we're creating for you. And I hope that you are just enamored with your life and you're living it right up your alley.